Hey everyone, this is Bazooka. Welcome to one of my videos and welcome to Random Ramblings. However, it is of course going to be about the Meet Your Match update. Finally, for the first time, I am actually making a relevant TF2 video that isn't like completely irrelevant anymore. I'm pretty sure that was completely redundant. In any case, so the Meet Your Match update. I tried playing it the first day, couldn't get into a single match because I guess they were still working out the kinks and stuff for the servers and stuff, because me and one of my friends just couldn't get into a server. It took we spent a whole hour trying to get into a server. It just didn't work. So I ended up playing it a little bit today, which is July the 9th, 2016. Actually, it was more like July 8th, so Friday. I played a little bit today, Saturday. So what do my general thoughts? Initially, first off, the how to play a game, like just find a game now. They just have completely gotten rid of quick play, and I don't know how I feel about that. Because competitive, yeah, okay, that's fine. MVM, that's still the same. Community servers, which is just basically find a server, so that's good. And there's tutorial, which, you know, that's the same as it's always been. And then there's casual, which is basically it's like quick play, but it's not, because it uses the same form of searching as competitive and MVM. So it takes time to find a game, and that's not really what I want to do in TF2. I don't want to take time to find a game. That's why quick play was, you know, my go-to thing, which is why I played pubs so much. I chose a server, went in. It's super easy, super fast, didn't have to worry about anything happening. Granted, the auto balances was like like those are sounds of disgust, but, you know, or disappointment, whichever one you want. It was generally like that, but I mean, I took it in stride. I didn't really mind being auto balanced, or the nonsense that was the curse of auto balance. But in casual play, you can't. There is no auto balance, so that's one upside to the casual play instead of the quick play that they had before. But quick play was exactly what it said on the tin. It was fast, it was quick. You just, like, you choose what you want. Do you want to play payload, king of the hill, attack, defend, control points? Just choose one, bam. Alright, I'm gonna play this game real fast, like get in there, play whatever I want, just have a grand old time. Now you have to actually just go to a community server, I guess, and do that, but, like, I don't know how to feel about that, really. But, yeah. So far, the whole, I guess, matchmaking kind of system that they have for, like, pretty much every official game mode is interesting. It works for competitive, works for MVM, man versus machine, but I don't think it works well for just, you know, just casual play. Yeah. I really just don't think it works for casual. I'm kind of hoping that they'll bring an option which will just be quick play again, and you can just go into a server and just choose whatever game mode, pick a server, just get right into playing TF2. But at least they put in an interesting, like, level up system, so that way you're always pitted against people of equal skill level. I mean, I guess that was a problem everyone kept having when they played, when they went into quick play, chose a map or whatever. The skill range was all over the place. You got new players, you got the people who just screw around, then you have the really skillful players and the tryhards, and like all these like different subsections of people that have varying skill levels, and it was just all over the place. So now instead it's like, what's that? You're level 1? Okay, you're going to be put in with a bunch of other level 1s, or like you're going to be put in with a bunch of other level whatevers, or I guess I'm not really sure how it works. But one thing's for sure, if you have a varying levels between your friends and you all try to party up and search for a server, it's gonna take you a while. Me and my friend and a couple of his other friends, we were all different levels. I was level 1, one of his other friends was level 1, and then he and another one of his friends were like different levels, so it was just like, maybe Valve's matchmaking system is being quite literal in matching you with same level skill, I guess. But regardless, it's certainly interesting. Also, the little box at the top and your little metal thing that you can click. I almost feel like they could make an idle game out of that. But the little info box is pretty cool up top. It doesn't seem like it takes very much for you to level up at the very beginning, but I would guess it takes a lot to level up much later. Okay, so that's it for the menu interface, I guess. Excuse the clicking. I am just, like, I need to check over some of the stuff because there's so much stuff in this update. Okay, so a bunch of new taunts, whatever, that's fine. The 3 new community maps, Sunshine, Metalworks, and Swiftwater. 3 competitive maps are now officially in the game, so that's pretty cool. Yes, the Heavy versus Pyro War, which is very interesting. It seems reminiscent of the War update, where it was Soldier versus Devilman. So it seems very much like that, and I am personally on Team Heavy because I think even though Pyro does desperately, he needs more primaries and perhaps more shotgun secondaries, but Heavy overall needs more weapons. Like, he needs more varying weapons, if you ask me. He definitely needs more primaries, he needs more shotgun secondaries, and even melees. Even though, like, the melees that he has right now is okay, he needs more varying, like, different ways to use his melees. And I'm going, like, this is all in the assumption that, whichever side wins will get weapons or something, or like things. I don't know. That's just hopeful thinking. I'm not holding my breath like, oh, they're gonna add weapons to the game. No, they're not gonna do it at all. I don't know. They probably won't. They might, but I'm not gonna hold my breath for it. So what else? What else can I check out? Oh right, a bunch of weapon changes or weapon stuff, buffs and nerfs. Really, the only ones that I find interesting are, where is it? The shortstop being able to shove people now, like right click, you shove them, so that's interesting. And Son of a Stick got a slight buff. You take a little bit less damage from fire, so that's nice while it's deployed. What else has changed? Sydney Sleeper. I like what they did with the Sydney Sleeper. When fully charged or when making a headshot, now applies draw rate in a radius, and scope shots now extinguish teammates. The second one, first of all, people have probably been like confusing that. He's like, okay, you know what? Too many people have been shooting their teammates while scoped in, and because it applies Jarate, so we need to do that now. That's what I think. And the first one, when making a headshot or fully charged, it applies Jarate in a radius. I like that because now it rewards headshotting people with the Sydney Sleeper. Even if it doesn't do more damage, it now applies Jarate in a radius, and that just makes it more important for the sniper. Like, okay, I could go for this one body shot and kill this guy, or I can go for the headshot like immediately and get everyone on the enemy team in Jurate. Like let's say you have a devil man running in and you have a Sydney Sleeper in the back, and then he headshots the medic, who's like, you know, most often like hiding behind someone or around a corner or whatever, and then you headshot like, or well, yeah, you headshot the medic or you headshot his pocket or whatever. And I don't really know the blast radius, the Jurate radius on that. I'm guessing it might be similar to a normal Jurate. In any case, so it does that, and then the Dome Man can wipe or deal a ton of damage to that little grouped up little bunch of people who are grouped up and got hit with all that Jurate. It's a great change. It's a great buff to the Sydney Sleeper, and I think it's great. What else? They changed the Hulong heater. They made it a little bit better. They changed it. I'm not gonna say they buffed it or nerfed it, because I don't really know. I've never really used it. But the Hulong heater before was just, it wasn't very used because it was hard to use. But now it does a little bit less damage, but it does more damage if you hit burning players. They reduced the ammo drain to 4 per second instead of 6 per second, and they reduced the Ring of Fire damage a little bit, but that's the price when you can deal more damage to burning players. So that's really interesting. It's a nice touch. It might get people to actually use the Hulong heater a little bit more, and with that, you can do heavy scout pyro to do like a triple fire combo. Pyro just going in there, setting people on fire, having the heavy use the Hulong heater to deal more damage to burning dudes, and then having the scout go in there with the sun on a stick and just smack them for some like fast crit damage. So that would be super interesting to see if people actually start doing that. Right, change the pyro that kind of affects medics. Direct damage reduces medigun healing and resist shield effects by 25%. And apparently medics hear a healing interrupted sound when this is happening to their heal target. Personally, I have not heard this yet, even though I've encountered a lot of pyros. I have not heard this healing interrupted sound. The crossbow healing sound, that when that was first introduced, it was super obvious. It's just like, like it was super obvious that you hit someone with your crossbow and healed them. But for this, like the healing interrupted sound, I have not heard it, and for the most part, it doesn't. This pyro buff doesn't really change much. So that's I'm glad about that. And speaking of medic, all the changes to the medic, or well, the base mediguns, all mediguns allow the medic to max the speed of their heal target. Now the quick fix has one less interesting thing about it, because before that was, you know, that was like one of the 3 things that made the quick fix the quick fix. You could max the speed of anyone, but now that's just to all mediguns. So that's, I don't really know how to feel about that, but that's, I mean, it's a good buff. It's a good buff to all the other ones. So, you know, the medigun, the Crits Creek, and the Vaccinator. The quick fix still is still the only one that has matching people's explosive jumps. So it still has that going for it. It's still like a really good pocketing medigun, but now it just has one less thing on the other mediguns. And in fact, it also got a nerf. It now builds 10% slower. It now only builds at plus 15%. Plus 15% instead of plus 25%. So that's something to look at. I mean, it was kind of needed because compared to the Crits Krieg, the quick fix just built at its maximum rate all the time because, well, that's just how miniguns work. So to compensate for that, they slowed it down a little bit. So I mean, it's still building faster than a normal medigun, and you heal a lot faster. So I think it's a reasonable change, honestly. Next up is the overdose. They increased the movement speed to plus 20%, so instead of being plus 10% movement speed, you get plus 20% movement speed for your Uber. So if you only have 50% of your Uber, you still get plus 10, and then when you have 100, you get plus 20. So now you're even faster with the overdose. The overdose also deals negative 15% damage instead of negative 10, so it's even less viable to fight people with. But I mean, it's the overdose. You're using it for the speed anyway. You're not really going to be fighting people. If you are fighting people, you're going to be backpedaling away from them and firing at them anyway, so it's just whatever. You just need to run away, get to safety. That's the main point. And finally, for the medic, last change, dropped mediguns, stored Uber charges begin to decay over time after coming to a rest. So after you, let's say you drop a full Uber, and then another medic comes by like, oh man, he had full Uber, picks it up, it's not at full Uber anymore. And you know what? You can actually hear the Uber charge going away. It's the Thompson Uber and cloak time drain sound, so like pew pew pew. You can hear that slightly if you go up to the medigun, and it's very interesting. It drains super fast. It's so fast. Like I was pocketing someone and they killed the enemy medic who just dropped a full Uber after I'd used mine. So like, okay, after this runs out, I'll go over there and grab it. Grabbed it. It was at 50%, and I only waited like 2-3 seconds after the medic dropped the Uber. So the Uber rate, unless I'm heavily mistaken, it drains itself very fast. And as much as it kind of pains me to say it, but I'm glad that they changed it, because that way you can't just go on a Uber a medic dropping spree where you, I don't know, I guess you use the Crits Creek to start off and then you kill a medic by surprise, and then you get like a free Uber of whatever the heck he was using, especially if it was like the stock Uber. You kill them, you get a free stock Uber, and then you pick it up, and like, what are they gonna do now? They have to build Uber again. But conversely, that means if you drop an Uber, you can no longer go back and pick it up, because by the time you can even pick it up, you might as well just keep using the same medigun, because it'll be at 0, and you'll most likely have been healing someone on the way back, so your current medigun will just naturally have more Uber charge at that point. So, alright, there is still a lot of changes. What else can I say before I end this off, because I've been rambling on for a lot. The perfect stranger crate, that's interesting. They've put in a bunch of strangers into one crate. It's apparently strangers that everyone have been asking for, along with strange parts that people have been asking for, or something along those lines. So that's really interesting. A few weapons that have not been stranges before, and a few weapons that were that already had stranges but were hard to find, like reserve shooter, or what else? The ambassador. There's also a sandwich in there as well. It's just lots of stuff going on. They also have, oh yeah, that's right, one of the strange parts is the allied healing part, which is pretty expensive, so you can get it out of that crate, so that's good. Is there anything else that I want to talk about? Not necessarily, because this is going for a really long time. So, okay guys, this is just a brief summary of what has been going on in Meet Your Match update. So, I thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for watching like 20 minutes, almost 20 minutes of me just rambling on about stuff that you can already read on your own. I might go into more depth about the class changes, the weapon changes itself, but for now, that's gonna do it. I thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Have a great day and a good night. Bye!